and welcome to the channel's book club. A giant step has been taken by the first Nigerian Managing Director of the National Insurance Commission, Olabode Ogunlana, to keep Yoruba culture from being relegated to the background. Recently, the revered 82-year-old chartered insurance practitioner publicly presented 2 new books on oral tradition and cultural heritage. The 2 books are The Quest for the Rare Leaf and Other Yoruba Tales, and Yoruba Love Stories. In them, Ogunlana translated the Yoruba folklore oral tradition that dates back to centuries into English. We'll give you a report on this after we take a break.
The importance of language is essential to every aspect and interaction in our everyday lives. We use language to inform the people around us of what we feel, what we desire, and question or understand the world around us.
In case you're wondering why my Lord Bishop is still looking that agile.
One man, Olabode Ogunlana, is using the medium of language to pass his message. What makes it more impressive is that at 82, he still has the energy to craft words into book form.
For one major reason.
Associates, family, friends, literary icons, traditional rulers and lovers of Yoruba values institutions turn up to support the chartered insurance practitioner.
Every home should have copies of this.
The Quest for the Rare Leaf and Other Yoruba Tales and Yoruba Love Stories are books in Yoruba folklore which the author translates into English, making it appealing to the modern reader, irrespective of their cultural backgrounds. The invited guests line up to speak on the importance of the books.
I'm confessing that this is one of the biggest assignments I've ever been given in my life. I'm going to hide under one theme, and that theme is that I know Bode is a very cultural person. Most of us are social and political animals, but Bode is not only social and political, he's very cultural. If for no other reason, I can stand up here and I say I emulate him in a lot of ways. If you produce one book, I would have respected you twice. But you produce 2 books, I'm respecting you 3 times.
He is particularly thrilled in the Alo, folk tales, and legendary stories which his headmaster father told him and his peers. In this book, he shows the vast knowledge of not only the history of his home town, Ogeri, but also the sound knowledge of Remo Ogeri dialect. You will see a lot of that here. He was able to write several sayings here in that dialect. He also shows a good command of English prose in generally describing scenarios. It's a book that even students of English have to read again and again.
Olabode Ogunlana's Yoruba Love Stories is not particularly written for twilight. Neither does it have Ijapa Tiroko Okoyonibo as its major character. It does not have a snail challenging an elephant to a race. Yet, the stories are set against Yoruba cultural background, themed on love, and they teach morals.
Then it's time for the first Nigerian Managing Director of the National Insurance Commission to speak on his motivation.
Many people do not know it, that Ifa, although people would say originated at Ushi Ekiti? It is yes and no. The Yoruba language is rich in proverbs, adages, and sayings. But unfortunately, most of our children now do not know them. I was reading a script for a Yoruba language exam, where one of them translated Akini nje Akini, Afinihan nje Afinihan. What did he say? A salute is a salute, and all sorts of rubbish. So it is necessary that we should put all these things down in black and white. These books, in between them, will have not less than 60 Yoruba proverbs, adages, and sayings, and the proper way of using them. Secondly, many people do not seem to realize the fact that the past, the present, and the future are inextricably linked. If we do not know our yesterday, understanding the present will be difficult, and of course not to talk of planning for the future. So this is another reason why these things have been put together. I had the benefit of having paternal grandparents who are both good storytellers. They introduced me to the law and culture of oral storytelling. My late grandfather, Olabode Ogunlana, who was born in 1872, was a repository of Yoruba proverbs. In conversation, approximately 8 out of 10 sentences uttered by him would be in proverbs. On one occasion, I pulled him up. I said, "Grandpa, you asked us to learn Yoruba, and now you are speaking this funny language. What is all this?" He said, "Yoruba is not funny language. Nítorí pé òwe lẹṣin ọ̀rọ̀, bọ́rọ̀ bá sọnù ńkọ́, òwe la fi ń wá." And of course, I came to learn myself, and I now understand what the old man was talking about. It was as a result that I set out to investigate these stories, to translate them into modern literary form, because not less than 27 of our universities now offer Yoruba studies and culture. The book, The Quest for the Rare Leaf and Other Legends, contains ancient stories which have over generations been transmitted orally. They are, to the best of my knowledge, now appearing in print for the first time. The legend of Orunmila, which is over 2,000 years old. The Ebiriku episode records an event which happened in 1431. The quest for the rare leaf grew from an event which occurred some 10 years before Lagos was ceded to Queen Victoria in 1861. The legend of the Queen's baskets emanated from an incident which came about circa 1890. It appeared to me that these legends and other stories ought to be put in print for the benefit of posterity, as well as to motivate others to emulate my humble efforts.
The books are then presented to the world.
We hereby unveil the books to the glory of God and to the enlightenment of humanity.
And for those going away with lessons,
well, the Yoruba culture is a very deep culture. And to be honest, it's almost been forgotten. So I think this book, or the books, and several other books that will be subsequently written, would allow us to be able to rejuvenate our culture. Our culture is very rich in morals and all sorts of aspects of life. And, you know, if you listen to one of the reviewers, Dr. Adagbada, the way she narrated a story to try to deliver a message was just incredible. The story of Ajapa and Aja. And I just think it is time for a reawakening of our culture.
Having them documented and written in a form that many people who otherwise would not have heard them can read, I think it's going to make a tremendous difference in terms of reminding people. And for the young generation who haven't had the opportunity to have it, you know, we used to have Tales by Moonlight and things like that, but now it's documented and people can read it. So we're looking forward to it being spread more widely. And you said, what difference will it make in the society today? I think it will make a lot of difference because a lot of people don't know these values and they don't know about these things. So having an opportunity to have access to that information, I think will help to build that culture. And I understand that the books are going to be given to many schools. They want to give them to institutions. So it's going to get into the learning situation. So we hope that families, schools, institutions will use it as part of, you know, the curriculum for developing young people.
Culture defines who you are, while tradition defines what you do. Both have been successfully defined in the books of stories and love.